Money laundering then, just quick recap really from an article by the examining team. So what we should know already, but anyway, just in case we don't, there are basically 3 stages of money laundering. The first stage, you've got placement. Okay, so placing the illegal funds. So that's putting, I'll call it, or placing the illegal funds, the criminal funds that you've made from whatever purposes into your own financial system. Okay, so I don't know, let's say I'm a drug dealer. What I would do is I would then take the money from the drugs and put it into the financial system, into my bank account in one of my academies. Okay, and I would call it, that's just cash payment from my students. Then I would try and layer it. Layering is, right now, it will be moved through lots of different transactions. I will then put it in a different bank account, then in a different bank account, then I'll transfer it back, then I'll transfer it somewhere else. And what I'm trying to do is I'm trying to confuse anybody who's trying to follow the money. So here, the illegal funds, they pass through lots of transactions, trying to create a very complex, what we call, audit trail. And then finally, at the end, I'm going to integrate it. So what I'm going to do at the end is I'm going to use these criminal funds and buy something, after I've hidden it through the audit trail, through the layering, I'm then going to buy something that's clean. I'm going to invest the money in some investment, or I'm even going to go and buy, I was going to say go buy a big car or a boat or something, but maybe you wouldn't, because maybe that would start attracting attention, why are you paying a big boat or car with cash or something. So you have to be careful when you integrate it, if you're a criminal, of course, that is. So it's basically turning your dirty funds into clean assets, using the funds to buy clean assets. Okay. So, what are the types? Let me give you now. That's money laundering, how to do it. This is give you some more types then of money laundering, and it could be, as we were trying to do there, trying to conceal criminal funds or criminal property, as it's called. Okay, but it could also be acquiring, using criminal property, or it could be being involved in the dealing in criminal property, even if only suspected, but being involved even if only suspected criminal property. Okay, so you don't want to be involved in any way, shape or form, obviously, in money laundering. Otherwise, you're committing an offence yourself. So, what do you do if you suspect money laundering? If you think your client is money laundering, well, what you do is you tell your money laundering reporting officer, okay, ASAP, as soon as possible, or at least as soon as practicable. And if you don't do it as soon as possible, if not, you are committing an offence yourself. So you want to tell your MLRO as soon as possible. What the MLRO will then go and tell an authorities. They need to go tell the appropriate authority, and they need to do it ASAP. And again, if they don't, they're creating an offence or committing an offence themselves. Okay, so we said that's what we do when we suspect money laundering, but how do we suspect it? What would be suspicious? Okay, and what would be suspicious? Think of that layering and things like that. So an overly complex structure. For something that seems quite simple, why do we have bank accounts in 20 different places? Why do we have different subsidiaries, etc.? Maybe you've got some strange transactions. So what do we mean by strange transactions? Could be ones that you think, well, this the money coming in here is a bit strange. We normally don't take this amount of money in one go. We normally, there's no business logical reason for this money, especially if it's cash. Okay, could be just a very large amount as well, larger than normal. Alright, but any unexplained transactions as well, so where the explanations are insufficient or a little bit odd, and then you think, there might be a problem. But when you think, there might be a problem, you've now got to be careful. So when you suspect, you've got to be careful that you are not tipping off, because tipping off is a money laundering offence. And what you're doing when you're tipping off is you're saying to the money launderer, I know you're money laundering. That gives them a chance to then hide everything further. So you must never tip them off. Okay? So what we've got to do, when it's money laundering, this is when the money launderer becomes aware. So this is when the criminal becomes aware that the auditor is suspicious. So you've got to try and hide your suspicions from the money launderer. Okay? Hope that helps. We do go into it in a little bit more detail, but that is the level of detail in the last article by the examiner.